Hello and welcome to my Premier League predictions and preview. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in. Thanks so much for all the new subscribers as well. We hit 3,000 on last night's stream, so thank you so much for everyone who has ever hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. But a massive weekend before Christmas. These are the final fixtures before Christmas, and we have some big games indeed. The first of which is Wolves versus Liverpool. The last time these two met, Wolves went to Anfield and won. They won 2-1 in the FA Cup, which is one of the more surprising results in recent years from the FA Cup. Liverpool's form for the last 5 games has been absolutely extraordinary. 5 games, 5 wins, 0 defeats, and they have been absolutely brilliant. There's nothing that you can say is wrong with this. 14 goals scored, 2 conceded. They've been brilliant, absolutely brilliant in the last 5 games. Over the last 10 games, 8 wins and 2 draws. They have been absolutely fantastic, and that is why they lead the Premier League table, 1 point ahead of Manchester City, and they could go 4 points clear with a win against Wolves, who currently sit in 7th place. Wolves have won their last 3 games in a row against Chelsea. Wolves also beat Newcastle and then beat Bournemouth as well. Now, there's cause for optimism for Liverpool. Wolves have struggled several times at home this season. However, their form against the top sort of 6 has been very good. They played Manchester City, got a point. They played Tottenham, almost got a point, lost 3-2. Played Chelsea and beat them. Played Arsenal away at the Emirates Stadium, got a point. Probably should have had all 3. Manchester United, they drew 1-1 as well. So they have had some really good form. But having said that, Liverpool seem untouchable at the moment, so I'm going to go for them to win this one. I'm going to go 2-0 to Liverpool, and they will go 4 points clear at the top of the table. On to Saturday's games now, and we have a whole host of fixtures due to there only being 1 game on Sunday. So there's loads of games to take place. The first of which is Arsenal versus Burnley, and Arsenal will want to put their result quickly behind them from their last 2 games. A 2-0 defeat against Tottenham in midweek to get knocked out of the Carabao Cup, and then before that a 3-2 defeat to Ralph Hasenhüttl's new team, Southampton. So they will be looking to get back to winning ways against Burnley, who are currently inside the relegation zone on 12 points. Just 1 win in their last 5 games coming against Brighton. Had the 4 defeats in their last 5 games to Tottenham, to Liverpool, to Crystal Palace and to Newcastle. So really disappointing. And I can only see this one going one way. Arsenal's home form has been very good. 6 wins, 2 draws and just 1 defeat. Really good form. So I'm expecting a comfortable win for Arsenal. I'm going to go 3-0 to Arsenal. I think they'll comfortably beat Burnley. Next game is Bournemouth versus Brighton. 2 sides that have had similar starts to the season now, really. Bournemouth, they had a great start to the season. Then they were flying as high as 5th and 4th at times. But their last 5 games, they've only won once, and they've had some really difficult opposition. Wolves, Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, and their only win coming against Huddersfield. So they're just 2 points ahead of Brighton, who are in 13th, and Bournemouth are currently in 11th. Brighton have lost their last 2 games to Burnley and to Chelsea. 2 wins and 1 draw in that time as well. I'm going to go for a Bournemouth win simply because they have played... they're playing the game at home. They've played well at home, and I think they'll be able to get the win just about because they're at home. So I'm going to go 2-1 to the Cherries. Next, we have Chelsea versus Leicester. Leicester City will be travelling to Chelsea for this one. Chelsea are currently in 4th with 3 wins in their last 5 games, including a win over champions Manchester City. Leicester City are currently in 12th place, having lost their last 2 games, 1-0 against Palace and 2-0 against Tottenham, as well as losing on penalties to Manchester City this week in the Carabao Cup. Chelsea, they won this week in the Carabao Cup 1-0 against Bournemouth to go into the semi-finals against Tottenham. Personally, I can only see a Chelsea win here. I'm going to go 2-0 to Chelsea. I think they'll comfortably beat them. Huddersfield versus Southampton next. Two sides that are really struggling down there, fighting for their lives. Huddersfield are in 19th with 10 points. Southampton rose from 19th to 17th with their 3 points against Arsenal. This one could go either way. Huddersfield have lost their last 4 games. Southampton have won 1 of their last 5 games. But their away form is very, very poor. Just 1 win all season. That was coming against Crystal Palace back in August. 4 defeats in a row for them. The home form of Huddersfield isn't very good. They have the worst home form out of everyone. 1 win and 2 draws in their last 5 home league fixtures. This one could go either way, but I was pretty impressed with Ralph Hasenhüttl's team the weekend, so I'm going to go for a Southampton win based on that. I'm going to go 2-1 to Southampton, which would see them go as high as 15th if results were to go their way this weekend. Next, we have Manchester City versus Crystal Palace, a game that I will be attending and I'm really, really looking forward to. Manchester City, they put that result against Chelsea behind them with a 3-1 win over Everton and then also progressed to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, winning on penalties against Leicester, and will entertain Burton Albion in the semi-finals. Crystal Palace, they won for the first time in 3 games, 1-0 over Leicester, 2 wins, 2 defeats and 1 draw in their last 5 games. They seem to be slowly improving under Roy Hodgson once again. City, well, that Chelsea result aside, it's been a pretty perfect season for them. 4 wins and 1 defeat in their last 5 games, and they could, if the result was to go their way, a draw or a defeat for Liverpool would see City go top if they were to beat Crystal Palace. This is something that they'll be looking to do. I'm really looking forward to going to this game, and I'm hoping City will win. I'm going to go 4-1 to City, a comfortable win against Crystal Palace, and could potentially go back to the top of the table. Next, we have Newcastle versus Fulham. Newcastle, they have had a much better sort of last couple of months after a really difficult start to the season, facing the likes of City, facing the likes of Arsenal and Spurs and Chelsea. They've had a lot easier run, and that is seen in their form lately. 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 defeats in their last 5 games, sending them from the relegation zone into 14th place, a comfortable amount of points between them and the drop zone currently. Fulham, they are bottom of the league and will be desperate for something against Newcastle. They are 3 points from safety, and they are already 7 points behind Newcastle, who are just in 14th. I personally think Newcastle will win this because I think they'll have far too much with Rondon going forward. So I'm going to go a 2-0 win to Newcastle. Newcastle could be 7 points in front of the relegation zone come the end of play. Next, the final 3 o'clock game is West Ham versus Watford. So both teams will be pleased with their starts to the season. Remember, West Ham lost their opening 4 games and were bottom of the table after 4. But since then, they have picked up 4 wins on the bounce now for West Ham. A 2-0 win over Fulham, a 3-2 win over Crystal Palace, a 3-0 win against Newcastle, and a 3-1 win against Cardiff. So they'll be absolutely delighted with their last 5 games. The only defeat in those 5 games coming against Manchester City. Watford, they have sorted out their bad form. They've lost 3 games in a row in these 5 game spell. Liverpool defeat, Leicester defeat, and then the City defeat. But a draw at Everton and then a win against Cardiff meant that they're in 10th place. Personally, I think West Ham are in better form. They're starting to look better. The cogs are starting to turn in the West Ham bandwagon. And for me, I think they will finish quite high decently this season. After a rocky start, Pellegrini has seemed to have got the formation right and everyone's playing really well. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for West Ham, and they could go as high as 6th with a win, even if it is only temporarily. And then the final game on Saturday is Cardiff versus Manchester United. Manchester United will be having Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge for their game to Cardiff, and he was the former Cardiff manager back in 2014 when Cardiff City got relegated back to the Championship. Cardiff City are in 16th place with 2 wins and 3 defeats in their last 5 games. However, their home form isn't too bad. Their last 5 games at home, 4 wins, 1 defeat. Wins against Southampton, against Wolves, against Leicester. Defeat against Leicester, wins against Brighton, and then a win against Fulham. So really decent results for Cardiff at home. Away form for United, it's iffy. 1 win, 2 draws, 2 defeats in their last 5 games. However, I expect a new manager bounce. I think Manchester United will play a totally different style and have a bit more of an attractive football philosophy going forward. So I think it'll be a comfortable 3-0 win to Manchester United. But a defeat here could see them fall down the league, and that would be very, very bad for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge. Finally, just one game on Sunday, and that is between Everton and Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham will be absolutely delighted with this week's action, beating Arsenal as well as a 1-0 win against Burnley. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, only defeat coming in the North London derby against Arsenal. They're in 3rd place and they take on Everton. Everton, they're just starting to slip down the table a little bit with some bad results. 2 draws and 2 defeats in their last 4 games and 1 win in their last 5 games. For me, I think Tottenham will go there and win, because they're a better side than Everton. I'm going to go 1-0 to Tottenham. And Tottenham will maintain their 3rd place with a win, but could fall down to 4th if they were to lose. So thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me your predictions down below. I will leave the fixtures in the description, so feel free to get involved in that. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.